Let Bishop David G. Evans steer you toward some of the most meaningful, life-altering times with our Creator in Conversations.
God says, I want to have a conversation with you. Why? Right now, my thoughts are higher than yours. My ways are a little different than yours.
Man himself is the fruit of a conversation. God talking to Jesus, Jesus talking to the Holy Ghost talking back to God. They're having a conversation concerning you.
But if you start talking to me, you'll get to understand my ways and my thoughts. So God wants this conversation so we can ultimately become all He's created us to be.
I know the thoughts I have concerning you. And I just want to have a conversation with you so you can hear what I'm thinking about you.
Cultivate the most important relationship you'll ever have. Order Conversations today. When you write to us, visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480.
It's the catalyst for change you've been waiting on. New Mind, New Me, from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money.
You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your command.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings. You can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
Position yourself to receive from God with Bishop David G. Evans teaching When Men Pray.
Have there been times when you have asked someone to pray for you and the prayer has not been answered? Because instead of praying for yourself, you waited until someone else that you thought had more power would pray for you. Prayer is something that you resort to immediately and not as a last resort. You need to learn how to pray preemptively. You need how to pray ahead of time. Don't always be praying in response. Pray proactively. Pray before it happens. Lord, cover my child. Lord, bless my day.
Develop your relationship with God with this dynamic teaching on CD or DVD when you write to us. Visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480.
Isn't it time to stop reliving your past hurts and move on to a bright and hopeful future?
I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to be wounded for the rest of my life. So I choose to be healed.
Get rid of the bitter poison that unforgiveness administers to the soul with Bishop David G. Evans. Forgive again, live again.
It's a liberating experience, and being able to forgive someone and forgiving yourself. It's liberating.
Forgiveness will deliver me in 3 dimensions. From what happened, from who it happened with, from when it happened. Because sometimes you'll get free from the what, but the who will still have you back.
This highly sought-after 4-part message of healing can be yours on CD or DVD. Act now, and we'll include Bishop's book, Healed Without Scars, with your order absolutely free. All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in the whole United States of America. I'm Bishop David G. Evans, along with my world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas Smith. Welcome once again. We broadcast every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. worldwide on any smart device at David G. Evans 1, at David G. Evans 1. Please call somebody, inbox them, tweet them, text them, send them a smoke signal, let them know On Point is on. Once again, we're so glad to have you joining us. Our numbers for calling in, 1-866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS, toll free anywhere in the world. We want you to join us today. What's up, man?
I'm doing okay. How you feeling?
Pushing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pushing. Trying to make it today.
Yeah.
Short-term patience with ignorance today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just catching up with that, huh?
Yeah. You know what it is? Maybe it's I know what it is. It's me.
Okay.
I have an expectation for some people to be smarter than they are.
Absolutely.
And when they continue to spout illogical,
You're starting to get my frustration. Yes.
it's like you're smarter than that.
Yes.
Somebody that wouldn't expect it.
Wiser.
Yes. Just
Apparently has enough experience based on other things they've said, and just can't figure this one little thing out.
Like, it's right there in front of your face. And everybody has a right to their opinion.
Now, this week,
But-
let me tell you what I've been
sorry,
beefing
good,
about this
good.
week internally.
Sure, good.
I don't know how you attack what's mine and don't think I'm going to be affected.
Right.
I don't know how people say they love you and attack what's yours
Yeah.
and think you're not going to be affected.
Right. Not realizing you're going to be more stressed, more upset.
But here's the problem. I think the disappointment is the relationship you think you have with them.
Mm-hmm.
You think it should prevent them from doing something like that.
Yep.
I've been beefing with them myself all week long.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I don't get, and then they don't have the courage to tell you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Right. Which tells you, it's to something you said years ago.
Yeah.
It's good and bad when somebody finally shows you who they are.
Yes.
It's disappointing, but now you know where to put them.
Absolutely. You know where to place them.
Yep. I thought we were this type of friend, this type of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I come to find out
We're not.
we're not.
Mm-mm.
I saw the friendship differently.
Yeah.
I really wasn't your friend, but you were my friend.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
And it's disappointing and enlightening at the same time.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, it could be too. I think some people have. Some people actually.
Yeah.
Some people disconnect you from the damage that they cause,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't disconnect themselves when it's coming their way.
Oh, they play the victim when it's them.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's the world's going to end.
Okay.
Y'all not loyal. Can't trust nobody.
Yeah.
The whole world is over.
Yeah. That's amazing to me.
Pubescent.
Yes, that's what it is.
Pubescent.
I'm not even sure. I think you might be giving them too much. That pubescent seems to tend towards, 12, 13, 14 years old.
That you know what you're right.
I think you're talking about infantile.
That you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Amazing how what's that thing I said months ago last year? Negative dominating emotions
Yes.
are absolutely revealing
Mm-hmm.
and difficult for people to suppress.
Right.
And I wonder what is it about our culture now that wants to turn the page on betrayal or attacking what's yours, or what is they just think I'll turn the page and you just won't notice.
Yeah. And then they say dumb stuff when you do notice. Well, I said I was sorry.
Oh wow.
It's like,
Oh, God.
like
I said I was sorry.
I said I was sorry, and just accept it. Like you should know.
The thing about an apology that bothers me, I tend to think a lot of apologies shouldn't be necessary.
Yeah.
Because you should think before you do the thing that's offensive.
Right.
So I kind of started to from a pattern recognition. I started to see that a lot of things that people have to apologize for they didn't anticipate your reaction to it.
Right. Right. That's
They're
true.
only thinking about what they wanted to do and what they wanted to say.
Yeah, that's true. And it was just in my head. But again, if roles are flipped back on them,
Oh yeah.
it's the end of the world.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You don't really
Oh,
care
yeah.
about me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, so
all that nonsense.
Oh, that's what it was. They would never apologize if, like you said, if you never
Yeah.
brought it up.
They would never say I'm sorry.
They would think it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So are you apologizing because you got caught?
Well, usually, yes. or you didn't they didn't anticipate your reaction. They only anticipated what they wanted you to say.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's one of the things that I've found in counseling people. The thing you have to really be intentional about is not letting previous experience when you're counseling dictate your initial response to what people are saying.
Yeah.
I liken it to you going to a store or a government agency and you're trying to tell them your particular problem. And they immediately slot it into all the problems that they've dealt with before, and they don't hear the details of your problem.
Of your problem.
Yeah, so we have to be intentional about not allowing previous successes to color the way we hear.
Yes.
Because I'm clear that a lot of people in conversations, they don't listen to learn, they listen to respond.
Right.
And if you're only listening to respond, you're going to miss most of what the person is meaning and what they're saying.
Right.
But then at the same time, I think a lot of times, when I'm in counseling sessions, I see people say things in a session where the only answer they want to hear is one that they've brought with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can be counterproductive.
Absolutely.
To learning and to progress
Yeah.
in a situation.
Do you think that comes from a lack of self-awareness, in the sense of, if I know that I have this dominant negative emotion, right? If I'm aware of that, then if I do something and I'm called on it, my awareness should allow me to say, you know what, you're right, that's an issue for me.
Okay.
Rather than dismissing it, acting like it's not there. I didn't do it. You should understand
Have you found that sometimes when people have a negative dominant emotion, they're actually not looking for change, they're looking for affirmation?
Yes. Yes.
They want you to tell them that no matter how crazy they feel, they want you to tell them that it's okay.
Yeah.
And I think some people make the mistake of saying, I understand the way you feel versus it's okay the way you feel.
Right.
Because a lot of stuff we feel is not okay. And it becomes not okay when it causes damage around you.
Right. Right.
But instead of saying, I understand how you feel, but there may be another way of looking at this.
Right. Yeah.
They actually don't want any words, but what you're saying is good. But I don't know about you, but I've had sessions with people where they literally said to me, how can it not be true when I feel it so strongly?
Yeah.
And the statement is amazing to me.
Yeah.
It's got to be true because I feel so strongly about it.
Right.
Well, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And you're right. They hear what they want to hear. It's hard sometimes talking to somebody where you have to be so exact and plain. And sometimes, like, we don't want to be sharp.
No.
It's just necessary because in this particular tone, not ignorant sharp, but very direct. So there's no mincing of meanings, words.
Yeah.
It's just no.
I think when people bring an emotional and circumstantial storm, it almost dictates that you cut through the storm and get to the heart of it, because you can kind of get lost up in the wind and the waves of what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah.
And so, they come in confused, or not confused, they come in focused, but driven by a set of emotions they can't even articulate.
Right.
And when they try to articulate them, it doesn't come out productively.
Yeah.
And then our job is to cut through all of that and get to the heart of what it is.
Right.
And depending on the raging of the storm that they bring conversationally, is as how direct you have to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, like when Jesus was coming in the storm, walking on the water.
Yeah.
I don't think people are dissimilar from the disciples.
Right.
people don't recognize their help when it's approaching them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely don't.
Absolutely.
And the circumstantial
That's true,
storm just prevents them from seeing any help.
Yeah.
And so the help coming causes fear rather than relief.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna judge me. They're gonna, they come with all that ahead of time.
Right. Right.
You know, which means when it comes to Jesus, you're going to see a ghost rather than him.
Wow. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
We've been talking a lot about between Bible study Sunday, these sessions, personal growth.
Oh yeah.
Character growth. And some people wonder why we talk about this so much. I think this is a prime time because this season is revealing a lot of
Absolutely.
the faith we thought we had,
Yep.
the strength we thought we had. Our negative emotions are very revealing in this season. And I think God's given us an opportunity to change from the inside out.
And if you're not reflective,
Yeah.
your negative dominant emotions will become stronger during this period.
Absolutely.
Because really, a lot of people, all of us at some time or other, have tried to validate an emotion
Yep.
that in private felt valid.
Yep.
Difficult to talk about it because we know the moment we say it,
Yeah.
it's going to invalidate our point
Absolutely.
of view. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we come out with too much aggression.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that when I'm counseling people will come into a session as though I've been thinking about their problem.
Right. Yeah.
That amazes me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you've been thinking about it for 6 weeks.
Right.
Well, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? And they want an answer right then.
Right there. Yeah.
You know, but what's been on your mind hasn't been on
my
mine.
mind,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, but then you have to take them back and say, look, take me back to so and so.
Right.
And a lot of times people want you to understand a 10-level deep problem with a initial statement.
Right.
Well, no, you're going to have to explain to me.
Yeah. Let's unpack that thing.
Unpack it. And some people are uncomfortable unpacking
Yeah.
because they've packed the suitcase
Right.
with nothing but feelings.
Right.
So you start sorting that out,
Yeah.
asking questions, and all of a sudden there's an
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah. It just slides right on that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
you ever had the experience? Every now and then I'll bring up something to somebody. You know, I think this is an issue. No. They deny it like crazy.
Oh, yeah, they can't see it.
And they can't see it, and then find a way to ask the right questions, kind of change the subject to them, and it circles right back around to
what you said.
Boom! It comes
Yep,
right
yep.
out. They say it.
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't have that.
That's right. Because
like-
you're not describing it in the exact words that I describe it.
Right.
So it can't be what we're talking about.
Right.
And once again, we've been talking about for a few weeks that some people specialize in words, and others specialize in meanings.
Right.
The problem is you have to be skilled at words and meanings.
That's true.
Because what happens if you say words, but then you say you don't mean it,
Yeah.
or you say things that have definite definitions,
Right.
but you say your words are not. People want you to listen to one or the other,
Right.
when they're really connected in a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, if there's going to be understanding.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, going back to college, the first couple chapters of every book is definitions. And then from chapter 3 on, they're no longer going to explain the word. They're just going to keep using the word. And I think we have an issue with definitions, as you say.
Yeah.
Because
we
what's
do.
love to me is different from somebody else.
Absolutely.
Care to me is different from somebody
Absolutely.
else. And we don't talk about meaning and definition.
What does it mean to you?
Yeah, when I say this, I mean this.
Yes, we don't talk like that.
But I don't think we know how to articulate.
Most people that don't understand,
Our own-
most people think you're going to understand them based on the strength of their emotion.
Right.
But you have to explain yourself.
Yeah.
And then people will say, I've had counselors say, I'm having difficulty talking to you.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, why? All I'm doing is asking you to explain yourself.
Right.
There's the difficulty.
Nobody's ever asked them to explain.
No.
Why.
Well, because it's easier not to.
Yeah. Just to go along
And
with
I
the
think
feeling.
when people only have a surface interest in you, they won't ask you what you mean.
That's true. That's true.
They won't ask you. They just,
Yeah.
they'll make a decision about what you said
Right.
and walk away with the mindset concerning you.
Yeah. Bishop agreed with me.
Yeah, that person's loony. That person's wacky. Okay, it's
Right.
I kind of like to. I never want people, and I tell this in business meetings. I tell people in counseling sessions, one of the first things I say, you will never have to guess what I'm thinking.
That's true.
Because I think it's counterproductive for you to talk to someone and you have to guess what they're thinking.
Yeah, that's true.
But then some people, especially in relationships, as naive as this sounds, and it's going to sound crazy, but this actually happens. People expect you to know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I've
had people tell me, well, you should know what I'm thinking.
No,
how?
How? You haven't explained it.
Right. And they think, what did we learn years ago? The burden of understanding is on the communicator.
Absolutely, not
on the hearer.
But most people put the burden on the hearer.
Yeah, you should know what I mean.
No,
I don't know what you mean.
No. We got Debbie Tucker from Philly. Hey, Deb.
Hey, Bishop, how you doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm good.
You staying out of trouble?
I'm trying.
Phil, can you turn this down some?
You trying?
Hi, Pastor Nick, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm loving all the videos.
Is it working for you?
Yes. And every time I'm thinking something, going through something, y'all talking about it. And it's always that way.
It's good. You sound good and strong. You staying safe?
Yes, I'm trying to. Just bouncing off the walls, being in the house.
Got cabin fever, huh?
Definitely.
You know what? I got something for you to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Call me on my office phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I got something for you to do.
Good.
Okay. I will call the office phone.
All right.
What's
your question today? Anything?
Well, I was just calling to make a comment. Most people, about what you're talking about, most people aren't in tune with their emotions. No one's ever taught them to, like you said, unpack.
Uh-huh.
Healing has to be intentional.
Yeah.
And you taught us that a long time ago.
Sure.
You have to want to heal.
Yeah.
Most people get attention being in the place that they're in.
Ooh, say that again, Deb.
Yeah.
Most people get attention being in the place that they're in.
So would you say that a lot of people express themselves in less than productive ways, and in their heart they're actually hoping that what they're saying brings you closer to them?
Definitely, because there's misery love company.
So they're pushing you away, and they're really trying to bring you closer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I see it now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
But the twisted way of thinking is the problem, but then they don't see that either.
So they've got an answer in their head that they want to hear. Even they're saying something crazy, but they want to hear something positive.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they don't believe. Then when you tell them your thought process, so you have a twisted way of thinking, now they're mad because they don't understand what you're saying, or that this whole thought process is crazy.
Why in the world aren't you agreeing with me?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And why are you offended by what I said?
Exactly.
Wow.
And don't understand any of it.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
walk away thinking you're the crazy one and they're the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, girl. That was good, Deb.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, Bishop.
Right. We learning something.
There's something today. Y'all stay strong now.
Okay, you too.
Tell the children I said hello.
I sure will.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. That was very insightful, wasn't it?
That was good.
That was Debbie Tucker, one of our longtime members. Amen.
It made a lot of sense, too.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. We're all right now, I think.
Yeah, I think it was very loud.
It was very loud at one point. Did I hang Debbie up?
No.
Okay, there she is. We've got Bunny from Daytona Beach. Bunny!
Hi, Bishop. Hi, Pastor Nick. How are you all doing?
Okay.
What's going on, B?
Oh, we're fine. We're fine. You, the spirit of Oswald Bronson has to be all over you today. What you were talking about, because a book that had a very strong impact on him, I remember it was around in the 60s, early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
It was called The Miracle of Dialogue.
Okay.
And in that, he talked about, the book talked about
Miracle Dialogue.
the miracle of dialogue.
Uh-huh.
It's old, but it's still relevant.
Okay.
And it talked about things like the semantic problem.
Right.
How we listen. Words that may have one meaning for you can have another meaning for somebody else.
Absolutely.
And then you start arguing over words when you're actually meaning the same thing. And what you have to do is to kind of sit down and kind of talk and clarify what does that word or that phrase or context mean to you, and then address it, your answer from how they are meaning it, than just sitting around arguing about words. But I noticed that book had such an impact on him that even his parenting skills were changed and refined. He would listen to us more before getting the belt right away. He would sit and say, wait a minute now, what did you mean?
I want to make sure I'm beating you for the right thing.
Exactly. and what was interesting was 90% of the time, the discussions, it was like, oh yeah, now I see what you're saying. Okay, things of that nature. And the current president, chancellor of North Carolina Central University, Dr. Johnson Akinley, was my father's mentee, the only one who my father mentored at the presidential level. He told me that, Bunny, every time I sit and have a difficult decision or I'm having to do conflict resolution, things of that nature, your father's voice and being comes to me about his listening skills and how he would talk to try to clarify different things. And what I got personally most from Daddy's, the impact that book had on Daddy was to listen, as you were saying, listen not just to respond, but listen to really listen, to try to hear,
try to learn
what they were doing. And at that time, Daddy was president of ITC in Atlanta. So when he would be teaching in class ministers, he was saying, you all are preaching too much. You're needing to listen. You're preaching your conversations. You're preaching your pulpit. It was with a lot of ministers. It was causing problems between them and their youth. And it just had a huge impact. And so I just had to say, wow, this conversation between you and Pastor Nick was just so refreshing, because it reminded me of the conversations between my dad and me. Even though I was very young, I just enjoyed what that book was doing for him and the like. And, it is as if you all have read it.
Yeah, I think the other thing that, I don't know what Pastor Nick has found in his sessions, but in mine, there's one more step after identifying what a particular set of terms means to a person you're talking to. And what you want to do is avoid future conflict for them, because oftentimes people's experience has created their own dictionary.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you have to introduce what the word means to most people, what the general definition of a word is, because if you don't, they'll continue to go through life being misunderstood because they are not articulating in a language that people can accept. So there's because not everybody's got time to sit down and listen. So you have to learn how to speak the language also. It's not a matter of people just translating what you're saying, but you have to be understood. Once again, the burden falls to the person that's speaking ultimately. And if you're going to help a person, you've got to help them be able to communicate better with the population in general. And when their definition, their internal definition is not the general external definition, that's a person that is bound to be misunderstood, misinterpreted, and rejected, because most people don't have time to sit down and unravel your history to find out what's pushing the words that you're saying coming out of your mouth.
That's right. That's right.
I'm glad you called. Everything's all right in Daytona?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. My mother earlier on had been in a facility just for a little while for rehab, and something was saying, please get her out of there, even though they did an awesome job with rehab. And time I did it, they locked it down where you can't.
Wow. And she's okay?
Yeah, she's home. Yeah.
Please give her my regards.
I will. Thank you.
Talk to you
Thanks
soon.
both of you.
Bye-bye. We got Jonathan first or Edwin first?
Jonathan first.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm really pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm glad to hear it, man. Good to hear your voice. You sound strong.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, we love.
So,
Are you there? Okay. What's going on?
I think that's on his side.
John, we're having a problem hearing you. You're going in and out. Try to call us again, John. Let's go to Edwin from Woodbury. I haven't been to Woodbury in a while. Good morning, Edwin. How are you?
Good morning.
Welcome to
Great. How are you?
Welcome to On Point. Great, man. Thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. It's an honor. I just wanted to share some things with you, Bishop. That's been weighing on my spirit, and I just wanted to know your input on it.
Okay.
I've been, as you know, whatever. I've been, doing, ever since I accepted, Jesus in my life, and been baptized at your church, and been walking with my spiritual walk and doing my discipleship classes. Not only for myself, but just building that relationship that's most important in this world. I just had my father on my mind because growing up, I wasn't like I wasn't raised like in church, so like it took me till I was like an adult, for the person that means most to me in Nayambi, who presented me to the Lord to signify as far as the importance of having and accepting Jesus in your life. And my father has had an issue as far as his growing up, as far as how he was raised and abused, and certain things that as we get older as children that we want to clarify. As far as I want to know, as far as what he experienced, because he's been nothing but him and my mother have been great to me and my brother as far as parents, and I'm grateful for them. But I also put aside as far as like his emotional side and what he went through. Like I care about it, but he has a hard time of talking about it. You know what I mean? So I've been just praying on it, because he has an issue with his own mother, as far as where she literally lives across the street from him, and he hasn't talked to her for about 17 years.
All right, let me ask you a question first. When you pray,
yes,
what are you praying?
I'm praying for the Lord to speak to my father, as far as for him to be able to forgive his mother for whatever happened in his childhood, that he just has a hard time as far as just moving on, because I feel like it's holding him back from fulfillment of life.
Okay.
To where he doesn't see it.
Okay. Now, you want to be a little more specific in your prayer.
Okay.
And I'm going to use general words, but you'll be able to get it.
Okay.
You want the Lord to heal your father.
Yes.
Mentally and emotionally and spiritually.
Yes.
Without that platform, he will have a very difficult time at this stage in his life having conversations about things that he has put away. So you want to pray for his restoration, which is going to be him being healed of incidents that may have happened in his earlier time being alive.
Yes.
So you want to pray for that total healing of his mind, his body, and his spirit. Without that, what the fruit that you want to see can't happen. So you want to refocus the strength of your prayers on asking God just to heal him totally.
Amen.
And then, as God does it, now what's going to happen? Invariably, you'll know the prayer is working if he worsens before he gets better.
He's I can sense a sense of change in direction as far as his way of thinking.
Okay.
He always speaks about that he only reads the Old Testament.
Okay, because the new is too challenging. To see, the discipling part of the thing, of the Bible, is when Jesus gets on the scene. And the discipling requires radical change. Radical in the Bible means the roots of the tree have been, if you will, cut by an axe.
Yeah.
So you know, he's instinctively staying away from that.
You're absolutely on it, Bishop. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 38 years old, and I went to see my father late last night. And he was resting, and I was talking to him about in Matthew where it talks about the forgiven 77 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just letting him know that just being able to put some kind of talk about the New Testament, you understand?
Yeah.
And he was listening, and I've gotten things out of him within the past 2 weeks that I have gotten out of my whole entire life.
Okay, but you guess what's happening? You don't want to become impatient in building this, because how old is your dad?
My dad just turned 66 this past Sunday.
All right, now here's the other thing. You may be conversing with your father. This will make sense to you now, as though he's just your dad, when in actuality, before he ever became a dad, he is a person.
Correct.
So a lot of times we will talk to our parents with an expectation based upon their title. So what we want to do is look at him as a person with the same strengths and weaknesses, not as a father should be, like a hero or a strong person. Now I'm saying that to tell you this. You want him to decide to talk. You don't want to persuade him to talk.
Yes. On
Okay?
his own timing.
Yes.
Yes.
So that means you have to kind of stop. What we do with conversation is draw lines in the sand and dare people to cross them. But what they invariably do is back up from them, not step over the line.
Right. Because they're not ready to step foot.
Yeah, that's right.
In that conversation.
That's right. So you have to let the Lord do some work. And what happens is, a lot of times we will pray, and then we'll add our own thing to it.
Yes.
And it regresses rather than progresses.
Right. So we cause like a trigger.
Right. And you don't want to put your hand on it after you've asked God to put his hand on it.
Correct.
Wow.
What you want him to do is start the conversation of restoration with you. I've been meaning to talk to you about something.
Right.
Do you have a minute?
Right. On his own.
On his own.
Right.
All right. Did I help you a little bit?
Yes, Bishop. I really appreciate you guys taking the call. Just
stay strong, keep
prayer.
praying. Absolutely.
Keep me in prayer. Keep my father in prayer.
Absolutely.
I love you guys.
All right, man. You stay strong.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. God bless.
Take care.
Now we back to Jonathan, or we go to Rodney? Rodney, Clayton, how you doing?
How you doing, Bishop and Pastor Nick? How y'all doing?
Morning,
man. We hanging. Good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah. Listen, why can't y'all go syndicated, man, so y'all can be on TV?
we wouldn't mind it, I tell you.
Right.
I know that's right.
We wouldn't mind it.
I have basically two questions for you. My first question is, what do you all think about them opening everything up so early here in New Jersey?
Very simply. Well, now tell me what's open in New Jersey first.
I think it's just the parks right now.
The parks are open.
Yeah, they kept everything shut down till
overall,
across the nation, I think it's lunacy.
Yeah.
I think they're going to see a spike in all the areas that have opened up, because what they did, and it doesn't have anything to do with caring for human beings. It has everything to do with money, because what the premise, I bet you, in conversation was this: they will not go back to doing things the way that they were doing them before, and then they open up the beaches, and those people were hip to hip out there on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
the thing's going to spike again in those places because the exposure. I saw some films from Chicago, Atlanta, and people were congregating as though somebody had freed them from jail or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So it's about money, man. It's about getting people off welfare, but it's also about, I'm not a conspiracy person, but it appears to be about reducing the size of communities, certain communities across the nation.
Yeah. Because I noticed the spike in the black community with the virus. I mean, it seems like it's more black people per capita that's dying more so than anybody else.
Yeah, it seems a little odd.
Yeah.
Seems a little odd. How you doing? You staying safe?
Oh yeah. I've been I've been on lockdown for so long. It's nothing new to me. Well, okay. I'm not really on lockdown. I'm just I just stay, do what I'm supposed to do. I mean, I'm at a higher risk because I'm a diabetic.
Sure.
But I just stay, I do what I'm supposed to do. I have a good wife. She takes good care of me and my son and the family and stuff like that. And I just, every now and then I might go out and go to the grocery store or something like that just to walk around. But I've been, taking care of myself, staying prayed up. And I'm not really worried about the whole thing because I know who got me.
Absolutely.
I know who got me. I mean, it's a tragedy that everything that's going on with it, but I'm not worried about it because that's not my job. That's not my duty. That's not what I was called to do. And we as Christians need to take that same attitude. Be concerned, but don't worry.
I'm telling you, what we've been telling people for weeks is faith and common sense. Just faith and common sense. That's all you got to do. Walk in faith and practice common sense, and you'll be fine. But you can't ignore what's going on.
No, definitely not.
Man, it's good to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Nice talking
give everybody my love.
Okay, I will.
All right, talk to you. Bye-bye.
All right.
I'm going to Jonathan in a second. I need to ask Pastor Nick a question. Do you think that people, as you're counseling them, we counsel a lot of folk. Do you think folk really want answers, or do you think they come in because hopefully they can get one of us at times to confirm what they're feeling?
Most times it's confirmation
of
a decision they've already made.
Okay.
And they're just looking for some sort of agreement.
Okay.
And only reason why I say that, like you say, is intelligent people ask questions. So
right.
I'm not against that.
Right.
But it's more than the question. It's more of a, why didn't you go along with this?
Yeah. And they're disappointed.
They're disappointed.
Because I've had some people, after I've counseled with them for a while, say, when I walked out of here that first week, I thought you were crazy. And I say, why? Because it appeared that everywhere they had worked out in their head that I was going to agree. And for me, it wasn't a matter of agreement. To me, it was a matter of whether I'm going to lead you in the right biblical way or not.
Right.
And I'm amazed at how many Christians want help, but don't want to be led the biblical way.
Yes.
I'm got the Bible out on my desk. I'm paraphrasing scripture all over the place. And they walk out disappointed because I did not confirm for them. Maybe, and sometimes I wonder, I've had people say, well, what does the Bible say about X, Y, and Z? I'll tell them, boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And they'll get mad.
Yeah. Because, now, I don't know about you, but some of them, it's because God told me X, Y, and Z. And now I come to you to confirm what the Lord
and God didn't tell me.
Told me. And, like, God did not tell you that.
No, God didn't have that conversation.
He didn't.
Don't be lying on it. All right, who we got, Jonathan or Danny? Hey, John, you back?
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good morning to you. What's on your mind today?
Well, actually, the most important thing is I ran across a study. I started to get interested in this. Why are they talking about the coronavirus probably is seasonal? It'll come back in the fall.
Right.
Well, why is that? And why? And they're talking, and like your one caller said, there seems to be more blacks dying of this than whites. So I got really interested in listening to a lot of immunologists and things like that. And there was a study just came out that there's an element in the blood that they went back and looked at people who had lived and died in Indonesia. 780 people had got the coronavirus. Some lived, some died. There's an element in the blood that if it's real low versus normal, they have a 10 to 20 times chance of dying.
Okay.
10 to 20 times more chance of dying.
Okay.
And this is real extreme. If there was a medicine that did this, it would be fantastic. And that is vitamin D.
Okay.
If it's below 20, it 20 times, 10 to 20 times, depends on how they correct, right?
Okay.
If it's above 30, which they count as normal, above 30, when a really natural level is like 46, then those people had a lot better chance of living. So vitamin D seems to be very critical, and I looked at a bunch of other reviewers of the literature of all the studies and everything. This is summary, top immunologists and lecturers and people like that, all experts on vitamin D and immunology, and they all say vitamin D is extremely important. It may be the single most important thing. And why is nobody talking about it?
Well, it's not the first time I've heard it. My healthy doctor had some literature out on that a while ago, how important it is, and started, especially during the winter time. Summer months, he does not prescribe it for me that much, but in the winter, when we're coming out of winter time, coming out of summer, he starts prescribing about 10,000 units a day for me, because when the winter comes, because I'm sensitive to cold, I cover up a lot. And of course, I'm not outside. I'm, house, church, house, church, store, bank, house, church, store, bank. Now that we're talking about it,
I've got a routine.
I'm inside. I'm inside stuff, and so my D drops. But I think people don't know that. I mean, I think God made these bodies to naturally defend against most things. Which is why He made them to combat or wage war against just about everything. But I think sometimes we have aberrated the mechanism to such an extent that it can't do what it was built to do.
And you got a good doctor.
I
agree with 10,000 per day. That seems to be what everybody else is, all the experts are saying.
This guy's
I'm
worldwide.
the vitamin D experts, not the FDA.
Because most traditional physicians, they kind of underrate anything natural. But of course, there's monetary reasons for that, because they're making their money from pharmaceuticals. Their partnerships are with pharmaceutical companies. So I get you're promoting your partner, but not at the detriment
and I'm
of
seeing
everybody else.
I looked at the clinicalstudies.gov where they're doing all the clinical studies, and they will test a drug like this hydroxychloroquine has been talking about. Okay, now it's like a cup of coffee. The cup without the coffee isn't any good, and the coffee without the cup isn't any good.
Right.
You need the two of them.
Right.
The hydroxychloroquine pulls zinc into the cell.
Okay.
And the zinc destroys the virus replication.
Okay.
You need the hydroxychloroquine and the zinc. 33 out of the 35 studies that I looked at did not use zinc when they tested hydroxychloroquine.
Amazing.
It's like they want it to fail. And they only those other two studies, there was very few also that used vitamin D.
I saw a clip on study of the AIDS virus yesterday, and the delay in an effective treatment was about two guys wanting to take credit for something somebody else had discovered. So thousands of people died. Became infected because somebody wanted to take credit for the discovery. And the pharmaceutical companies shut down the original lady. And they threw her in jail for a minute.
I heard about that. This week.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
it's money driven, and they don't care. The human collateral is not an issue.
Yep.
Which is why I think the government's not vaccinating people right now.
Yep.
I got to go, John.
Very good.
Talk to
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye. We got Danny from Florida. We got Janice from Philly. Hey, Dan.
Good morning,
Danny.
Bishop.
How you doing, man?
How's everyone doing?
Pray for Pastor Nick. He yawning on air, man.
I am not.
I'm the old guy.
You just start hitting me. I'm like, I'm getting tired now. Sorry.
Well, I can say one thing, that you all have been working very, very hard, and
Thank
we
you.
see that, and
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Yeah.
your hard effort. That goes
Thank
for
you.
you, Pastor Nick, the entire staff, the production. We really appreciate it,
Yeah.
and I can't say enough that we really appreciate what you're doing.
I got to give
And
credit where it's due. Pastor Nick is he's telling me what race to run, telling me how far to run, tell me how often to run, which he's
Yeah.
really good at.
Yeah, that's true. Get in the game.
You have really, really blessed so many people that you don't even know
Yeah.
about. I know that I speak of you and what have you, and we have people at work that are tuning in and
Wonderful.
seeing exactly what's going on.
Wonderful.
And it has created a positive attitude in me, and people ask different questions. And something that you told me years ago is become a very good listener.
Yeah.
When people ask you things,
Yeah.
to listen.
Mhm.
And as you were saying at the beginning, some people want to hear and some people don't. They want you to confer what they're feeling.
Mhm.
And I give them different nicknames, like you said, that you look at funerals, you can tell, the feelings and what a person is really going through.
Mhm.
I have nicknames like Brother Down and Out, okay, and Sister Don't Have Enough. No matter what you ask, they're going to have each
Absolutely.
the
Same testimony.
situation.
Same testimony.
God is blessing them over and over, but they never tell God thank you.
Yeah.
They're always asking God, but they never thank Him for what is happening. I have people on the job that are complaining about work, but they're working. I said, look at the guy that used to work at the casino. They're not working.
Yeah.
They're standing in a food line, but you're complaining about going to work.
Yeah, crazy, man. Crazy.
It doesn't make any sense.
I bet you there's going to be a new appreciation for a few things after this is over. For Christians, it's going to be church. For people at large, it's going to be having a job.
Amen. Amen. To go back to church, I'm telling you.
I can't wait for our congregation to come back, man. Man, oh man, oh man. I tell you, man. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna shout for 2 services at least, and then we might get around to singing and preaching or something. It's gonna be amazing in here, I can tell you. But I thank you for your interest, and thank you also, Dan. I never told you to thank you for how you have helped spread the reputation of the ministry down in that area.
Well, you can't help but, because like I say so many times, people in your area, they don't realize how blessed they are. I just wish that, we could have, that type of service that you all have, and the dedication that you and your staff, Pastor Nick and everyone, it's a caring, and we really appreciate it.
Well, I tell you, man, my uncle used to say, he said, sometimes we search all over the world with a diamond sitting in our backyard.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's but we love your support. I care about you and your wife so much.
Yes.
You all have been great supporters of our From a Distance. And I'm not being premature, but we have been we're building, if you will, putting the finishing touches on our internet church, which is going to be called Connections.
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
So that people not only from around the world, around the country, around the world, who are geographically locked down, can not only become a part of our internet congregation of Connections, but also get engaged in ministry, prayer ministry, and different things that we believe are going to just be a tremendous blessing to give people engaged on another level, even though they're in Florida, in Texas, in Los Angeles. We're going to get them so they can get engaged and actually start to help build, if you will, the extension of the church. It's going to be amazing.
And it's God that have you ahead of the curve and doing this ahead of time when everyone is trying to now get on the internet and what have you in order to get the word out or whatever they're doing. You already had that in place for years.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to not just having the connection while we're in this pandemic, but connections is being created so that after this is over, all those people who came during this time and started watching this can stay connected to the ministry after all this is over and continue to be a part of who we are. So we're real excited about it.
Again, bless you all, and we really love you. And
love you too,
thank
man.
you for so much.
Take it easy
Thank
now.
you. All right.
Bye-bye. Janice, you're going to be our last caller today.
Hello, I'm the last call.
You the last call. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just want to add, it's great Jonathan is on. I want to add something.
Go ahead.
Turn the radio down.
Turn your radio down, honey, please.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm online. I'll turn it off. Am I on right now?
Yes, ma'am. You're still on.
Okay, this is Janice. Janice in Philadelphia.
Yes, ma'am. How you? Welcome.
No comment. Thank you. Yes? Yes. Jonathan's on right now, and it's good to talk to Jonathan again.
Jonathan is not on right now.
Well, Jonathan was on.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he was on.
Okay. About President Trump. He's a great supporter of President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about people like Jonathan in the Republicans' role, their role of President Trump in the end of the world times. It's just something about President Trump in the end of the world times, and Jonathan will be able to explain that to us.
Okay.
Number two,
Okay.
I think this opening up early is political.
Yes.
Because
Mm-hmm.
Afro-Americans
Mm-hmm.
and the brown race, the blacks and browns are dying at a higher rate.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to affect the election, okay? Which will help President Trump win the election.
Okay.
Because most people are Democrats. So if you drop a lot of black and brown people and other people too, regular people too, it's going to affect the election.
Okay.
And give him an edge that he didn't have.
Okay.
For Corona.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Janet.
Could it be that way? I think that's what's happening. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
That was Janice. I think she was a first-time caller.
Yeah.
Okay. Call us again, Janice.
Yeah.
We love hearing from you. We do love hearing from everybody. This has been... We do. We have such a varied audience, don't we?
A vast audience, yes.
It's
very.
amazing. I love how God has... it's kingdom, really.
Yeah, it really is.
It's kingdom.
Yep.
Various opinions, various ethnicities, various lifestyles. I mean, just everybody seems to call on point.
Yeah.
Now, service tomorrow.
Yep. Our normal schedule.
Normal schedule, 8, 9, 10 discussion of the services, 11 and 12. And then tomorrow's Mother's Day, of course. Yeah. And it's going to be different because people can't gather.
Yeah.
All the Hallmarks are closed.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not a big fan of the Walmart cards. Some of the
drugstores got some good ones.
Yeah, they're little on the flimsy side, you know. But
Rite Aid come through sometimes.
Rite Aid come through sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rite Aid is picked over by now. I think Mother's Day tomorrow, so we're celebrating that, and then all afternoon we've got some stuff starting at 2:00, right?
2:00, yep.
And that's gonna run from 2 to what?
To about I don't know what time it's over. It's like every hour you're running some tributes.
Okay, doing tributes to moms.
Yeah, and then we're running one of your Mother's Day sermons from 2008.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 6.
Okay, tomorrow at 6, the mother of us all. Yeah. And then there's a special prayer online today for those whose mothers are deceased.
Yep.
Little conversation that I had with those of you who, like me, mothers have gone on to be with the Lord. And I think you'll enjoy the conversation. Brief, the prayer. I think you will. And, of course, got our regular service tomorrow. You're going to have a great time. So get on early, stay on all day, binge with us all day long.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure we don't waste your time. For Pastor Nicholas A. Smith, I'm Bishop David Evans. This has been On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Any smart device at David G. Evans 1. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And are we on that TikTok or whatever it is?
TikTok,
we on TikTok too?
On TikTok, yes.
Okay, we're on TikTok also. I don't know what it is. Make me think of a It's mints or clocks, one or the other. But we love you. Thanks for joining us, making the program a success again. To all our callers, thank you, and we'll see you next week.